Well, Tesla recovered another $2 of that pullback at the end of the day. They recovered a couple of bucks of that amount in the after hours. Now it's all closed down until Monday night around 5 o'clock when Robinhood will start reporting on the overnights again. The speculation amongst you all who voted maybe on X is that Tuesday will also be a very big up day because of the Trump impact, if for no other reason. Of course, given 3 days, who knows what kind of news could come out of either the Tesla world, the economic world, or the new Trump administration, given what the weekend is planning to bring us. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is about the patent for that new LFP battery. If you saw my program earlier today with Larry, and I highly recommend you take a look at it, I will give a card on that later. In that conversation, we discussed, he brought some reality to me and said, look, we don't know where we are on this battery. We have no idea whether they even plan to put it into production. It is a patent. It was put out. Drew Baglino, who's no longer with the company, commented on it and said, boy, this would be huge if it happens. I agree. It would be huge if it happens. And this would probably be a really, really good question to come up on the earnings call in just around 11 days, something like that, 12 days. Anyway, I thought we should delve into it and talk about the implications, talk about the things that are cool about it, some of the benefits. And so not being an expert in this area, I asked Grok to help me out. Now, it turns out that after I read what Grok said, I pretty much would have been able to say almost all of those things because we don't know very much, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what Grok had to say. It says that the new lithium iron phosphate battery could potentially lower costs in several ways based on the information available from recent web results and posts on X. That's where most of Grok's current information comes, especially on current events. So number one, we'd have the reduced material costs. LFP batteries just don't use the same expensive materials like nickel and cobalt, which are the key components in regular lithium ion batteries. And this is a significant cost in the raw materials because iron and phosphate are just cheaper. And so because of that, you would have some significant savings. Also, iron and phosphate are much more available right here in the United States. You don't have to be bringing in, as currently is the case, let's say from Chile or someplace else with the lithium, or from wherever, South Africa and other places for although, quite frankly, the boron thing is getting to be less and less an issue with regard to all of Tesla's batteries. Anyway, number two, it would lower production costs. The patent describes a manufacturing process that requires lower capital investment and has lower process costs compared to traditional methods. This could streamline production and reduce overhead costs. And what was said here is that this battery would actually cost less landed on the ground in the manufacturing facility, final product in your hand would cost less than the Chinese batteries brought in from China, even before you consider what might happen with regard to tariffs. So straight up, they're going to be the same cost. If one imported, the other one right here made in America would be actually lower cost for this new LFP battery. So that is the significant thing. I mean, that is a significant thing, but it is the significant thing as well. Next, Grok said that there'll be scalability. The new method is designed to be more scalable, which means Tesla can increase production without a proportionate increase in costs. Without a proportionate, that's the important word there. So there would be increased cost if you do scale it, but it would be proportionally less and less. This would give you economies of scale. Number five, there will be energy efficiency. LFP batteries can be charged to 100% regularly without significant degradation, unlike, of course, nickel-based batteries, which are recommended to be only charged up to about 80%. So this would be reducing the cost with battery management and maintenance. Wouldn't cost as much for those battery maintenance and management computers that are currently running the packs. It says in-house production. By manufacturing batteries in-house, Tesla can control the supply chain, reducing dependency on third-party suppliers and potentially negotiating better terms or even eliminating supplier markups. So just like Tesla's gone everywhere else, this vertical integration, you could get much more vertical with this than, well, of course, they're getting very vertical with lithium. There's no doubt about that. But this would just give more and more power to the verticality of the integration on their battery manufacturing. Of course, if those, what's not going to be mentioned in this Grok list is that this would absolutely qualify for the IRA monies, assuming that those IRA monies are not, eliminated sometime in 2025. It would avoid tariffs. With a new manufacturing process, Tesla might produce the batteries domestically, thus avoiding import tariffs on battery sales from China. That would be significant given the current trade tensions. This is also true, though, if they decided to set up an LFP plant using this patent in Europe or another one in South America, because this is not going to just be for the cars. This is going to be for primarily, actually, for the energy storage units. Energy store, the Megapacks and the Powerwalls. And so wherever you're setting up that factory, you could set up a battery production facility to complement it at that location, which eliminates a tremendous amount of the expense of moving those atoms around from place to place. Then longer battery life. We know LFP has a longer battery life. That's a big one. Simplified battery management system. They kind of talked about that before. Safety, reduce risk of thermal runaway. Again, LFP is more stable, so you might be able to decrease insurance and safety-related costs, but also it might change the way that you're able to make the battery pack. It might be less expensive to make the battery pack because you have so much less concern about the battery running, having a big fire. Recycling benefits. Although the LFP batteries are less valuable to recycle due to the lack of nickel, the process of recycling them is simpler and potentially less costly, which could benefit Tesla's long-standing sustainability strategy. Of course, they won't have to be recycled for about, 30 years, because not only would they be able to be used in the car for a very long time, you'd be able to take them right out of the car and use them in storage units for a very long additional time. All right, these cost reductions could collectively enhance Tesla's margins, making the electric vehicles more competitively priced and potentially accelerating EV adoption. So those would be all great things. Now, I also wanted to know are these likely to be used? And I had a pretty good idea, but I thought it'd be good for you to hear again, where's LFP used? Where's nickel? Where can we use these things? So generally, it's going to be the lower cost cars that are going to be used. So the Tesla Model 3 standard range, this model already using LFP batteries for its standard range versions, especially in markets like China, and then also was used in the US before discontinuing them because of the tariffs. Number 2, the Tesla Model Y standard range, same thing. Standard range, the particular versions manufactured in China would be using these. Maybe they wouldn't be using, the Chinese ones might not have any advantage unless Tesla decided to set up manufacturing in China, but it might not be a good thing for us to manufacture them here and then ship them over there because now you've got that additional freight cost. Number 3, the Tesla Semi-Lite. Tesla announced plans for a short-range version of the Tesla Semi, dubbed the Semi-Lite, which would use LFP batteries, and the safety benefits and commercial applications would be another thing. Tesla energy storage products, I mentioned that. These would be the big use for them. Powerwall, Powerpack, Megapacks, all those would use the LFP batteries because of all the reasons we just discussed. Then future compact and entry-level vehicles, with Tesla's focus on expanding its product lineup to include more affordable options. The new 2.5 might definitely be using LFP because it would give it a decent range but keep costs down. Cybertruck could, on a lower cost variant, use these as well for exactly all the things we just talked about above. And then the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive Highland refresh, the refresh model known as the Highland, has been noted to use LFP batteries in some configurations. The Cybercab might also utilize LFP, almost certainly would use LFP. Specifically, mentions of the LFP 4680 cells being considered for the Cybercab due to their cost effectiveness and also suitability for the robotaxi application because you can charge it all the way up. And then, of course, Optimus. The rationale here, the benefits of LFP batteries in terms of safety, life cycle, cost would all be crucial for the robot design. A post on X highlighted that Optimus uses Tesla's own 4680 batteries now, but that same could potentially be used for the Cybercab. So you can go either way. So essentially, Tesla has said that the 4680 is chemistry neutral. So theoretically, downstream, they could be switching. Some of the lines could be, regular nickel. Some of them could be the LFP. Some of them could be another chemistry that, there's bunches of different chemistries that are being tested and tried. But this one, 4680 could do it, or you could do it in the other configurations. So the Optimus might stick with 4680s. I don't think it would be a very big deal to switch it over if they felt that it would be better off with a different battery in Optimus. So then another thing that's been considered a long time by Tesla and by other companies is a hybrid battery pack. And there might be some Chinese makers who are already using hybrid battery packs. So you can have some nickel-based batteries in the pack and also have some LFP or other chemistries in the pack. All it does is it makes it a little more complicated in terms of your battery management systems to be able to know when to draw off the one and when to draw off the other. Obviously, you're wanting to draw off the nickel ones when you're looking for that burst of speed, or whether you're looking for other performance characteristics. But for, just cruising along the highway, much better to use the LFP batteries. Anyway, so those are some of the considerations, and you can see where bringing it onshore. Now we know we're already bringing LFP battery production onshore, but bringing it onshore, but also at a cost that would actually be lower than the Chinese batteries being imported, even before you take into consideration the tariff savings and then the benefits of the IRA. Huge, massive. Brian Wang and I have done some videos where we suggest we could get to the point with the IRA in place, if it doesn't go away, where batteries would be free or it would cost less than nothing. We'd actually be making money just off the IRA. My hope, I think Elon's plan would certainly be, if the battery money is going to stay in the future, it would be reduced, because $45 a kilowatt hour is crazy. That number's wrong. Okay, so if you didn't see Larry and I earlier today, I'll put the card right up here. Definitely want to go check out that tomorrow. I'm only doing a video tomorrow. I want to give you a heads up on this. It's going to be about nukes. It's going to be about nuclear battery storage. And I know that's not a Tesla product. It's going to be so important. If you're interested in that whole category, Brian is an expert in this area. He and I have been doing some additional research. And that's what we're going to be talking about. That might be on Sunday morning. It might be tomorrow, not 100% sure. We will have a program with Larry tomorrow talking about the healthcare thing. Again, not exactly tied into Tesla, but helping the country. The nukes are going to help the country. They're also going to help the whole AI thing. We're going to need those nuclear reactors in order to get to where we need to get on energy quickly. And all of a sudden, they are in vogue. It's something that people are ready to do again, ready to go back to nukes, especially these modular small nuclear reactors. Phenomenal concept. I've been watching it for 20 years. I've not been able to understand why we haven't been doing it. So those are a little bit off the beaten path compared to just pure old Tesla, but I really think these are important for the community, for you, to understand in terms of the overall economy, in terms of where the country is going on this AI path, and where we're going with regard to reducing the debt, because we get the debt down. Okay, let me back up. This channel is all about, that's the number one thing we want to do here that's different than anybody else. Yeah, we do the Tesla news. Yeah, we do the stock news. Yeah, we do the speculating about where the stock might be tomorrow, 6 months from now, or 5 years from now. We do all those things, and I think a lot of you come here for that. But if you want to get good at really speculating about those things yourself, the other thing I try to do on the channel is bring you economic news with my analysis, good, bad, or indifferent, with Larry's analysis and Jeff Lutz's, everybody, all the co-hosts' analysis of the economy, the broad market, the broad stock market, how those things impact one another, how they all end up impacting Tesla in terms of the sales of the vehicles, the sales of Optimi down the road, the sales of the way Cybertrucks, cybercabs and robotaxis might fit into, the economy as things go forward. We're trying to bring it all together and be holistic here. I hate to use that, that old word, but anyway, it really does matter. All these things impact everything else. And so that's the goal. These are two categories going off, like I say, off the reservation just a little bit. Can you say that anymore? So I'm going a little bit off the beaten path, the Tesla specific path, in order to talk about these two categories, because I think they're both huge in terms of our future, and it relates to the ultimate goals that we all have with regard to Tesla. All right, so look for those tomorrow, and the regular programming as well. All right, that's all I got for you right now. It has been great talking to you.